Hello. Hi, everyone. Donna Mac here with Positive Projections and What's in My Bag. Today, I'm going to give you a secret ingredient for some of the best fried rice you may ever try. Hold on. We are waiting. So, are you ready for this amazing fried rice? Today we'll be talking a little bit about loving yourself as well as this delicious fried rice. Before I give you what's in my bag, you may have already guessed it is Champignons rice. See, this is long grain brown rice. And you may ask, what is the benefit of long grain brown rice versus white rice? And it's all in the processing of the rice. So the rice, the way it is processed, white rice is stripped of all of its minerals, its fiber, the husk, the hull that's around it, the vitamins. And so therefore it kind of loses some of its nutritious value. Whereas brown rice still has the husk and the vitamins and minerals for it. So that is the difference between the brown rice and the white rice, and it makes it a little more nutritious for you. In addition, you know that a lot of the rices have arsenic in it. Brown rice has it as well. So I like to encourage or tell people how you make brown rice or any rice, because I'll run into a lot of young people who do not know how to make rice. So the instructions are on the bag, but it's also good to just kind of know. You take the rice, a cup of rice, say for a couple of servings of 4, put it in a pot like this, and rinse it out. Rinse it out several times because you want to kind of get out the arsenic off the rice or any other impurities off the rice. And then you add double the serving of water as you have rice. So I have 1 cup of rice, then I add 2 cups of water. And because it's brown, I'll add a little bit more water, maybe less than 1/4 of a cup of water because it's brown. Cook it about, turn it to a boil. You can add oil or butter or a little bit of salt to the water and let it come up to a boil. And then after it's boiling, turn it down to low and let it cook for another 20 to 30 minutes. I like it better on the cooked side. Yes, you can do this with this recipe. I did. So we have brown rice for our fried rice. And we're going to go ahead and turn on our pan because my brown rice, your brown rice can be anywhere. Your fried rice can be with anything you want in it. Mine's is going to have in it a nice little vegetables because all of mine are plant-based. So this is going to be a plant-based fried rice. You can add in there shrimp, chicken, even beef, steak to your rice, whatever you like. But this is just for me, I'm cooking a vegetable rice. And some of my ingredients I'm going to start off with. So the first thing I'm going to add to the pan and let that get warm is going to be sesame oil. Check that out. Some sesame oil is going to be the first thing I add. And I'm just going to add like a tablespoon maybe of it. I'm just going to use the cap to just kind of give a measurement of about a tablespoon oil. Give it a nutty flavor. Actually, it's probably a little less than a tablespoon. As you see, my pan is kind of small. So I got my sesame oil. And then we're going to season our pan like we would any place else, like you would see if you were going out to get fried rice. And I'm just going to chop up some onion here. And this is a yellow onion, and I'm chopping it in some pieces that, I kind of want to see it. This is going to be sauteed. So I'm going to chop it into those nice little pieces and put it in my pan there. And I think I want a little bit more, so I'll chop a few more pieces. So I say the secret ingredient, and you've already seen some of the ingredients, and one of them is secret because it's how we prepare it. how we prepare this rice dish. So we're gonna go ahead and put these onions in there, let that kind of warm up. Don't want it to go too fast, but oh, and this is of course another quick meal, a very quick meal. I want to, all right, this right here is the scallions that I got off onions that I'm growing in my garden. And I just pulled the onions recently, so this is another nice ingredient for your fried rice. Some scallions. It has a different flavor. You know, that kind of more pungent flavor that really enhances your fried rice. So I want to talk a little bit about you, us, people, and boundaries. And the boundaries that start with yourself. We are loving, caring people. I always say I believe we were all created by love and filled with it. And the first thing I will tell anyone who's been in my classes, and I'll say, give yourself a hug, because you can't love anyone else until you love you. What do you mean? Well, if I don't know how to love me, if I don't know how to appreciate myself, I don't think I'm worthy of it, if I don't think I'm worthy of love, then it's so much more likely that I don't think other people are worthy of love. So, check out the size of these the scallions. I just kind of chopped them up fine. And you can probably hear my other onions kind of sizzling in the background. Perfect. So, I always say loving yourself is the most important, because if you don't love you, then how do you expect other people to love you? Now, part of loving yourself is showing up for you and standing up for yourself. Standing up for yourself means that I don't let other people make decisions so much for me all the time. So yeah, as a child, our children, and we should show our children the love to protect them, and we make decisions, hopefully good decisions, on what they should and should not eat, where they should and should not go, just to keep them safe, right? So that's what we do for others, and that's where we learn to start loving ourselves, by other people showing us love. And so when we're older and we have now established this love for ourselves, and we know the things that are good for us and the things that are not, then it's up to us to continue showing ourselves the love. And sometimes, just being honest, sometimes life gets to be lifing, and we don't let ourselves take charge of showing us, letting ourselves guide us, our own spirits and our own feelings guide us into how we want to be represented in the space that we're in a certain day, on a certain time. So we have to kind of be mindful of who we are, what we like, what we enjoy, what we don't like. Just cooking a little faster than I want. All right, so this is a garlic clove, and all I did was take it out. Let me show you, because I'm moving fast. I just took the skin out, the outside, and going to smash it. Smash both of them. So I'm taking 2 garlic cloves, smashing them nicely, and then I'm chopping them up, because I do like that flavor in my rice as well. So I'm taking the garlic cloves, chopping up, nice and easy. So question, have you ever done anything to get some attention? Yeah. Maybe it was something that you wouldn't normally do, but you did it to be accepted by others. And I think as kids growing up, or as people who grow up, as we grow up, we often fall into the trap of trying to be accepted by others, and it leads us to doing things that we wouldn't normally do. And that's not necessarily loving ourselves first. That might be loving attention, but not loving ourselves. So think about those things. All right. You probably can't smell this, but yeah, those onions, scallions are nicely sauteed there in the oil. So the next thing I'm going to put in here is going to be carrots. So I'm going to skin this carrot. I love this thing right here. Just kind of takes the skin off of the carrot. And then after I take the outside off, I'm going to just fill in there. You are special. Everything you do is special. Everything you say is special. So being you is what the world needs. They need more of you, who you are. Like this carrot is different. It has a different flavor, a different texture than many of the things that I'll put in this pot. But it's going to make this dish special because it's different. And if everything I put in this pot was an onion, it would just be an onion dish. So allowing yourself to know who you are, know what you bring to, and figuring out what you bring to the table. I'm gonna make it a little circle, put them in there. That is going to enhance everyone's experience around you. The next thing, a whole nother color, is broccoli. Remember I said this rice or this fried rice dish is plant-based. So I have a lot of little plants that I'm bringing out. And I'm gonna toss the broccoli crowns. I'm gonna break them up a little bit. I don't let them too big, so I'm breaking them up and putting them in there, and it's just sizzling away. I told you this is a quick dish. It's really easy. Take them there, let them saute into the bottom. So now we have in our dish green, orange, white, and yellow. A couple of greens. Now we're going to take my white mushrooms, which is my last big dish. Big thing I'm adding in there are some white mushrooms. You can add any kind of mushrooms you want. Today I'm going with the white, and I'm just chopping them in half. Yeah, I'm going to have them big today. Brown rice has a lot of nutrients, magnesium, selenium, which also is in these mushrooms. There's a little bit of protein in all of this, so people always ask, where's your protein? Well, you get some in, there's a little bit in almost everything. So we're just going to chop these up. And hopefully get those cooking. The seasons are really, really coming through. All right, so check out this dish. Stirring around. Back to my love talk on love. So just a thought to think about. Do I ever do things that I'm doing just to prove my worthiness to someone else? And hopefully we already know that we're worthy. We're all different, just like the many different things that I have in this pot with all its different colors. And if they're all different, it's a great thing. I'm going to add some different seasonings. First one I'm going to add is my old Slap Your Mama the wonderful thing about this is anti-inflammatory. This is just four ingredients: salt, black pepper, red pepper, and granulated garlic. The way they mix it up, absolutely great. I'm just gonna add a little bit for the flavor, because that's what I like, but you can add whatever you like as well. And I'm going to add a little bit of chili to this as well. All right, so I'm a spicer. I like spices. So I got a little bit of chili pepper. And one more thing, and not necessary. You'll see why doesn't require a lot because we did season the pot nicely. The one other thing I wanted to add was some smoked paprika. That's some organic. And in addition to that, I'm going to add cumin, which I always like to add cumin when I'm doing a dish that has vegetables, which is most of mine, because it adds kind of earthy, it adds a savoriness to the dish. So I got all those seasonings on top. I was listening to this teacher talk about how she encouraged kids to do good things in the class, and one of the things she talked about was telling the kid or noticing if a kid picked up something off the floor. And when they picked it up off the floor, she really celebrated that moment. And one of the things that it resulted in was other kids wanting to pick things up off the floor to get that same celebration. And that's nice. That's good. They kind of learn good deeds, get good responses versus the negative responses that you can get from other deeds. All right, so while I got that cooking, we're gonna take it and put this nice heavy top on it, giving myself a night, and I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. So yeah, it's always, people always like to be applauded or appreciated for what they offer. But if everyone's doing the same thing, then we would be kind of boring, right? So learning to do something that gets attention because you saw someone else doing it is not a good way to show up in the world, because it doesn't allow you to express what you bring to the world. So when we talk about loving ourselves, it means that we also love what we offer, love what we do, how we show up, in our unique and very special ways that we can show up. And as we show up in those ways, then other people can either take it or leave it. But most importantly, if we love it, then it's easier for other people to accept and love us in those spaces in the very way that we are. And that really helps us to be comfortable no matter where we go, because we're not looking for other people to appreciate us, but we're allowing ourselves to appreciate us. So that's my love story for today. Love on yourself so that other people can love on you too, just the way you are. All right, so our meal is sauteing down. It's going to need a few more minutes to saute down to go down to a nice texture. And what is the nice texture for you may not be the nice texture for me. Another ingredient I'm going to throw in here now while it's kind of simmering down is the liquid aminos. And I said this dish is a little healthier because sometimes the soy sauce has a lot more sodium in it, and liquid aminos, which is a byproduct of soy, does not have nearly as much salt. So there's the liquid aminos. You can find those in most stores, especially in like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. And the thing is, it has the same flavor as the soy sauce, just less sodium. We'll take that, cover it up a little bit longer, and as that seasons out, I'm going to show you the rice that I'd already cooked. And yes, I've already used this rice a lot. I've made this dish a couple of times this week. So after you cook the rice, as I was saying, about 20, 30 minutes, then you go ahead and let it cool down and put it in your refrigerator. So here is the secret. Putting your rice in the refrigerator at least 2 hours, if not overnight, is the way you can keep your rice in that nice way that it doesn't get mushy. It stays separate when you're preparing your fried rice dish. So you always notice that if they're cooking fried rice in a big wok, then they take the rice and put it in after the ingredients, and it is cold. So that's what we're going to do here when we take the lid up in the next couple of minutes, and you'll see how the rice turns out nice and separated, and and the vegetables can roll through it. I'm going to move this one out of the way. Grab my favorite plate. You know how sometimes I'll put the rice in those little cups and flip it over? Well, I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to put the rice in the dish, in the bowl. So it is really, really wonderful that you identify who you are, what makes you special, and you walk into your space as being that special person, whether it's quirky or whether it's serious, whatever it is, walk in with that whole feeling or atmosphere or aura of love, because love is the superpower. Fear is our worst enemy, but love is our superpower. So when we walk into a space, even if someone in that space has a bad attitude or you can tell that they're really not wanting to be bothered, you can come in with a quiet sense of love and it completely changes the atmosphere in the room. And before you know it, that person is bubbly and maybe talkative, and maybe you find something that you can say that you appreciate about that person, something that, not being dishonest, but being very honest, like, hey, I really like those shoes that you have on, or whatever you may see. And that really helps to help people to break up. Because I believe everybody has love within them. Everybody has the capacity to love, or even the desire to love and to be loved. So it just takes us showing up for them, showing them how to love. So yeah, this is really, if you can see the steam rising up, I'm trying not to let all of our nutrients fly away. So basically, the vegetables are done. We're just going to top it off with some rice. Let the rice warm up in there, and we're done. Let me take one big spoonful of this cold rice, put it in the middle, and go ahead and chop it down. That seems to fill it out pretty good. I'm going to show you real quick. See, it's nice and filled out. And we're going to go ahead. Ooh, that handle's getting a little hot. Now that I have the rice in, it's just in here just to warm up. And notice it's not gumming up or anything. It's staying in that same, the structure of the rice is staying. So at that point, maybe we want to add a little bit more of the soy for the rice. Or shall I say the liquid aminos. And for me, I always like a little cayenne. But you don't have to have that kick if you don't want to. But I'm going to add it in. So we got a little cayenne. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because we know our cast irons will continue cooking long after you turn off the pot. And mix it in just a little bit. Because you can mix it in when you get your plate. And we'll plate it up. So yeah, whoever you are, wherever you are, just take some time and set some boundaries by knowing who you are, what you like to do, how you like to show up in love, how you like to impact the atmosphere in love. And then just go for it. Be you. We need you. We need you in your very own unique self. So then our dish won't just be a dish of rice, but it'd be a colorful dish with all the wonderful colors there. Check that out. I'm gonna taste good. Yeah, I will. And I'll be honest with you, whether it's good or needs a little bit something, something. All right, I'm gonna go with mushrooms, a little bit of carrot, a little bit of broccoli, of course. Mm-hmm. When I tell you yes, I mean yes. Y'all, delicious. Notice I didn't put a whole lot of seasonings in there. Mm. But it's on and popping. It's so good. You have got to try this and put whatever suits you. I'm a spicy person, so I like a lot of spice, but you might like sweet. So you can put something sweet in there. Sweet and sours. But you do you, and you love you, and I love you too. All right, y'all. There is the meal of the fried rice. Notice the rice is not clumping. It's nice and separated. The structure is perfect. The food is perfect. And it only took us a few minutes. So next time, we'll make something else. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you for popping in. Bye.